Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Pav Bamber here for PSB Sports, and we've also got with us
Shane Watson here from PSB Sports as well.
And on the line with us we are joined by world title challenger Mr. Liam Walsh. Liam, thank you so much for talking to us. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, thank you. How are you lot? You all good?
Doing well, thank you, doing well.
Yeah, all good, thanks.
I believe Shane's got the first question for you, Liam.
Right. Obviously, you said in the press conference in the build-up to the fight that you've seen Mayweather fight before in Vegas. I believe the Ricky Hatton fight specifically, you mentioned that you went to see because you also made everyone laugh by saying you was actually going to support Ricky Hatton because Floyd went like clapping, as in thinking you were supporting him, which was quite funny. But so obviously being like growing up, knowing a name and even being lucky enough to see a name like Floyd Mayweather, is it like mesmerising in the fact that he's going to be behind the man that you're fighting in the corner next weekend?
No, not at all, really, to be honest with you. I admire what Floyd's done as a fighter, as a boxer. You can't not tip your hat. He's been the best fighter of our era. The best ever, I'm not so sure, but the best of our era, definitely. But as a man, no, I'm not in awe of him whatsoever. He's just another man to me. As we all are, we're all just men, and we've all got different jobs and what we do, and that's that. But no, I'm not mesmerised or in awe of him whatsoever.
Liam, also two things I noticed actually from the press conference and the face-off you guys did at the hotel was that I noticed that Floyd in particular was talking for Gervonta a lot. In the press conference, Gervonta wasn't really saying much. I noticed in the media questions after, although Gervonta was there next to Floyd, every question was being asked to Floyd, and when one was asked to Gervonta, Floyd would take over. Same in the face-off, really. You know, Floyd was being Floyd took the paper of your record. He was speaking a lot for Gervonta. And at times I feel like, you were more speaking to Floyd than actually Gervonta saying much to you. So what did you make of, Floyd really speaking for Gervonta so much in that whole segment?
Yeah, it's not for me. I was brought up when I got to about 15, I think it was. My dad sat me down and gave me the man chat that you got to stand on your own 2 feet now, son, and it's that and the other. And so for me, it's not for me. No one's talking for me. I'm talking for me. I'm my own man. But I don't know. It's working for them, I suppose. If Gervonta's happy for Floyd to, he sort of looks towards him when the questions are asked, as well as if to say like, Floyd, you answer this. So I don't know. It works for them. If he's happy with someone to speak for him, then that's good for them. But it's not for me, not at all.
Okay.
Also, another question. You see, before someone agrees to a fight, they would normally look well into their fighter, their records, and know a lot about their fighter, a lot about the person their fighter will be fighting. But in your example, obviously you know a lot about Gervonta Davis. You know he had a great win against Pedraza and stuff like that. So obviously that'll be well looked into by your trainer, promoter, and obviously you, of course. But it doesn't seem like it's like that vice versa. For example, when Floyd Mayweather was looking at your record because he never looked at it before, and also I asked Floyd Mayweather a question at the last press conference in a group interview, and what I asked him was, I said, have you ever seen Liam Walsh fight or looked at how he fights or his style? And he said no. He said he's going to look after when he goes back to the hotel. I'm not sure if he actually ever did, but the issue that I thought was weird about that, so before they agreed to come over here to fight you, it's like they haven't looked at who you fought, they haven't looked at your style, and they haven't looked that much about you. Do you not think that's a bit of a different thing, and that maybe that's bad management towards Gervonta Davis?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of things. They're very, very confident that their man can beat anybody at super featherweight. For me, I think it's unprofessional and pretty ignorant, I think, but it's like I said, they're obviously very, very confident in their man. I think Leonard is the man who's given the go-ahead on this fight. I've done a few media calls the last few days, and he was talking, and a few things he said pricked my ears up about my style, and also about a few different fights he'd watched, and so I think he might have been the one who gave the green light on it, more than Floyd and sort of Gervonta and his team himself. And as for him looking at my record at the first thing, he was actually trying to mock the people on the record, saying, who's this guy, who's that guy? He was actually looking at Gervonta's record, because he was naming people off his record, not mine. So that just goes to show that he hadn't been keeping an eye on my career, let alone Gervonta's. You know, he's making out, oh, he's my son and all this rubbish.
Yeah.
He went, who the hell's this guy? Started mentioning someone. It wasn't someone on my record, so he was clearly, because our records were stapled together on that bit of paper. So he's obviously looking through his record and didn't even, so, but no, the fact that he hasn't they haven't really watched me fight, I think they have now. Like you said, I think they would have now because they've gone on about a few little things that, like I said, pricked my ears up. But they're obviously confident. They're more than confident. And not only that, they had to come anywhere. The money he's getting is 4 or 5 times the money he got for Pedraza, so he had to come.
For sure. And Liam, sorry, also to follow up on Shane's question, I hear obviously Team Mayweather talking a lot about how much they love the UK fans, how the UK is great. Do you obviously you've prepared for this fight, really hard, and everyone believes that it's going to be a great fight come Saturday night. But Liam, also in your opinion, do you believe that you are being overlooked to an extent because the fact that Gervonta's coming over here? Do you believe that they're looking at it as an opportunity for their fighter to get exposure to the UK market? So are you using that to your advantage as well, knowing that you could potentially be overlooked from Team Mayweather?
Yeah, undoubtedly they're overlooked me, and like you say, it's only spurred me on. Yeah. And also, if he isn't on his absolute game, then he's in trouble. So yeah, I think it's an advantage to me, and. If it's not easy to adapt during the fight when you are not psychologically totally there, when you think it's going to be a lot easier than what it is.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's not. It's a lot harder to adapt on the scene. So you'd like to think deep down they're doing it all for show and they're really professional and will come and do a job. Floyd's done it 49 times. He's made out that. It's a walk in the park, and then behind closed doors he does his work. He's not daft, So you'd like to think they are professional and they have gone about their work, and I'm sure they have. But I think psychologically there'll be an element of this is half an easy fight, and if that is the case, then he's going to struggle on the night when punches start flying.
Also, a little bit more on your record. Obviously, you were supposed to fight Ricky Burns a few years back, but that didn't happen due to politics or injuries or whatsoever. And then obviously you've had other title fights in your career which you've come through. And then most recently you come through your mandatory challenger in Andre Kilmov, who's more of like a world fringe contender, or should I say gatekeeper to world level, of course, because that's what's got you the mandatory position. So would you say Andre Kilmov is your hardest fight to date? And also, do you think it's a massive step up from fighting a guy like Andre Kilmov to Gervonta Davis?
Yeah, the first one was still, I think, my hardest opponent to date. On paper he was, but in reality he wasn't. I thought, early on in my career, when I fought people like Appleby, when I was completely green and I was not very good, they were much harder fights then because I made them harder. The Kilmov fight were actually easy because I'd made it a lot easier because I'm a better fighter now than what I was 5-6 years ago. So it's a difficult one. It should have been my hardest fight today, but it wasn't. And the second question was, is it a step up? Yeah, it's a massive step up. Yeah, I don't think there's any you can't deny that. It's the step up is the ambition of Gervonta. It's a word I use a lot in boxing. It's he's finished or whatever, but a fighter's got ambition. They're dangerous. They're a dangerous fighter. It's obviously I've clearly got ambition, and so has Gervonta. So that's why I keep saying it's going to be a serious fight, because who's going to give? Who's going to say, all right, that's enough? Or no? So I know I ain't, and I'm pretty confident he isn't. So providing our styles gel, this could be a real classic, because I'm not going to give nothing, he ain't going to give nothing. We're both ambitious, we both want to, be champions. So it's definitely a step up from what I've been fighting. Definitely, yeah, there's no doubt about that. Athletically, he's better than anyone I've fought. Psychologically, we'll find out, but he looks decent enough to me. So it's a step up myself, definitely. But I also believe I'm definitely a step up for what he's been fighting. Also,
definitely.
Yeah, I think Pedraza was the best man. He's the best fighter on his record. By that, he's got Cristobal Cruz, who was about 37 and off the back of about 5 or 6 losses in his last 10 or something. But Pedraza, yeah, again, the ambition. You have to question Pedraza's ambition in that fight because he's come into the fight. He got paid a lot of money. He was tight on the way anyway. I'm not just taking nothing away from Gervonta, because Gervonta, and I watched it again this morning. Gervonta's done a great job on him, but Pedraza after the fight, he's walking out of the ring with him, arms around him, taking selfies and things like that. And you know, there's losing a fight, and then there's I can't see. I don't know where he was at when he's walking out of the ring with his arms around him and taking selfies with him. It makes you wonder, did he just cash out? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah. So I've got more ambition than anyone he's fought. That's for sure. So
Liam, also, what's your plans from now up until fight night? Obviously, next week is fight week, and also, how's your weight cut going ahead of the weigh-in next week?
Yeah, weight's I'm slightly ahead of usual, which is nice because it's always a drag. There's no joke. There's no point me standing there telling you, I'm right near weight, because it's not the case. It never is. It never was. I'm in the wrong division. So I watched a video. Someone sent me a video this morning. Gervontas just tapping away in the bag in a sweatsuit. You know, that's how it is now. You know, we're cutting the weight. We're getting down to the weight, and then we rehydrate and get back to ourselves. So weight's going good. I'm slightly ahead of schedule, which is nice. Which I expected a little bit anyway with such a big fight. Now I've left no stone unturned. So it's best I've ever dieted as well. Come fight night, I'd have done 10 weeks with no artificial sugar, which takes some doing because I don't mind. I've always had a bit of a sweet tooth, but come fight night, I'll be 10 weeks with no artificial. The only sugar that's past my lips is fruit. So yeah, I feel good for it. And everything. The last week now is it's a double-edged sword really, because you're trying to get the weight off, but not put too much into your sessions because you want to leave your body fresh and not take too much out of it. So I've done it 20 times before, so I know what I'm doing, and I'll just do what I have to do and get to the fight. I'm scared.
Also, I read an article recently. I'm not sure on how true the actual article was, but you said if you do come through as champion fight night, you'd like to step up and fight maybe Terry Flanagan at lightweight.
Yeah. This article was done. This interview was done. I'm not too happy about that being released, to be honest with you, because I've done this interview. If you look, when I say on the interview, I said the best lightweight. There's an argument for him to be one of the best lightweights in the world with Linares.
Sure.
And people are gonna laugh and say, "Oh, you didn't mention Mikey Garcia," because that's how long ago the interview was. It was well before Mikey fought Zlatan. So it was like 2 months ago, that interview. I just think the timing of releasing that interview is poor because it's making me look like I'm calling out Terry Flanagan 2 weeks before I'm fighting Gervonta Davis. You know,
Right.
I'm not Superman. I've got enough on my hand at the minute. You know, and you know what I mean. And it's not a good look either. It's not a good look as if I'm calling out Terry. You know,
Right.
I've never called out anybody. I've never physically contacted the office or anybody on that note and called someone out. You know, all the I don't really. It's not really my style. And of course, I'd love to fight Terry Flanagan. I'd love to fight every single world champion at every single weight. I'm not fussed about it. If there's a world title on the line, I will fight. I've stated that from dot one since I started professional boxing. If there's a world title on the line, I'm happy to fight, and that goes for any weight. You know, so. But yeah, I think it was poor timing with that story, and
Sure.
Terry must be sat there thinking, "Will this guy shut his mouth and earn his place rather than keep talking about it?" But in me talking about it, I have get set up for it really. They mention him, then they sort of like fiddle away of getting something out of me, and then all of a sudden I've called him out, and I just haven't. But yeah, it's living and learning, so I'll be smarter next time. someone rings me up months away asking me about certain subjects, I'll be smarter next time. So yeah my bad.
Fair enough,
no,
Liam.
Of course, like I just said, I think I've said it anyway. I think I've said what the point is. Yeah, no problem.
Absolutely, Liam. Liam, I want to say thank you so much for your time today. I hope the rest of the weight cut goes well. I hope fight week goes well. Fingers crossed we can see you next week in person. And thanks a lot for your time as well, Liam. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.
Pav Bamber and
Bye.
Shane Watson,
Bye.
PSP Sports. Thank you.